Hello everyone, welcome to our new English video. Today we're gonna be talking about the same units, which is Unit 5, Heroes. But today we are talking about grammar skills, present perfect. And in these lessons, it is a kind of revisions and you just revise and practice what you have learned so far. And at first, I'd like you to understand what is the purpose of this video or the purpose of these lessons. In this lesson, you will be able to revise and practice making affirmative and negative sentences by using present perfect. And the second thing, you will be able to correct mistakes in sentences by using present perfect as well. Then, next step, I want you to take a quick look with our homework and what did you learn last session or last video with me. Alright, so as you can see here, last sessions or last video, we talk about readings, a young woman in school fundraisings. And also you learn 6 important words in the reading text, which are decent meals. Decent meal, it is a good meal provided to people, especially children. And wooden hut. Wooden hut, it is kind of a house made by wood, and it is small with 1 or 2 rooms. And third, auditorium. So when we are talking about auditorium, it means a hall or building for meetings or gathering peoples. And fourth, ambitious. Ambitious, it means a strong wish that you want to achieve in your futures or you want to achieve in your dream. So, for example, you want to be a doctor or you want to be an engineer, you want to be a teacher. So these are about your ambitions. Ambitious is an adjective and ambitions is a noun. Alright, next word is a football pitch. I believe that you all understand and remember this word well because most of you are fans of footballs. So football pitch, it means the place where football games is played, right? And then the last word is organize a quiz night. So organize a quiz night is kind of game or an activities that to play for raising money for charities or fundraisings. Right, and then last but not least, you also got a homework which require you to read the text again and then answer the 5 questions here. And then let's move and check together. And then I just want to give you where could you find the answer, which paragraph is the answer stated. Right, look at question number 1 until question number 5 and then go slowly with me. Question number 1, how long was Felicity at the street academy schools? So how long? As I remember, the answer is in paragraph 1. They said she spent for 4 months in school, right? So the answer to this question is it was 4 months. And question number 2, why is the street academy school different to others in Ghana? And these answers also, you can find it in paragraph number 2 because as I remember, they said the street academy school provide free education, food, decent meals, books and uniform. So it is different. Other schools have to charge. So the students have to pay for their educations and everything. But at the street academy school, everything is free. Right. And then number 3, what facilities does the new school have? Facilities, it is talking about the room, classroom, toilet or something like that. And in paragraph number 3, there are four classrooms, toilets, a football pitch and an auditoriums. So all are facilities in the schools. And then question number 4, how much money does you want to raise in total? As I remember, while you are reading, you made the word 70 to 80,000 pounds, right? So this is the answer to the question number 4. And then last question, question number 5, what shape are the new windows? And this answers is almost at the end of the text. As I remember, the shape of the new windows are triangle and stars. Right. So I think if you read the text, you can find the answer easily because the answer is stated in the text. It is not so much difficult for you to think or to find the answer. That's it for our revision and homework checking. Next, I want you to go with me to the today's lessons, which is present perfect. And then first, I want you to look at 4 examples. And just to remind you, today we are talking about 2 forms, affirmative and negative only. And then here is the example of affirmative and negative. And then look at the example. Felicity's has done a sponsor works. And then number 2, and they have organized quiz nights. You see, this is the affirmative form of the present perfect. And as you can see, the red words are the key or the important key for present perfect, because when you are using present perfect, you have to use with this red important words, and then we will talk in the forms of present perfect. Right, and then look at the negative sentence. She hasn't finalized the plans. And then number 2, they have not raised enough money. You see, the negative, you just add not to the form, to the sentence, so it becomes a negative. All right, and then because of it is a revision lesson, I believe that you all understand and get so far with what I'm talking. And then look at the form here. Subjects plus have or has plus verb 3, or another word you can say past participle. Past participle and verb 3 are the same. Right. So do you know what are subjects? Subjects, it can be things, animal, people, place, or whatever it is, functions as a noun and do the actions. Right. So have or has. Do you remember the word have or has? When you want to use have, you have to use with I, you, we, and they. And especially with more than 2 subjects, you have to use have. And then when to use has you use with he, she, it, one names. So when all of these subjects, you have to use have or has, and then plus verb 3 or past participle. Let's have a look with example number 1. Felicity's mark, you see, it is a subject, right? And then has done. Has, it means the form of the present perfect. Why we use has is because of Marx is a name, only one name. So we use has. But what about the 2 names? If you want to use 2 names, you have to use have, right? Done, it means verb 3 or past participle, because done, it is from do, right? Do, did, done. Do is a verb 1 or present. Did, it means past or verb 2, and then done, it means verb 3 or past participles. Alright, so look at the form of negative. Subject plus have, has, plus not, and plus verb 3, and or you can say past participle. So it is easy, just insert not between have, has, and verb 3s. And then look at the example here. She hasn't finalized the plans. You see, she, like I said, when you want to use she, you have to use with has, and then have not, but it is a contraction, hasn't. And then finals. So finalize, it is a verb 3. It's from finals, right? And then just keep in mind, what are the form of present perfect? The first one, positive form, is subject, have, has, verb 3 or past participle. And then negative form is subject, have, has, not, verb 3 or past participle, blah blah blah. That's it. If you remember the form, it's quite easy for you to make a sentence or to write, to speak as well. Alright, so let's have a look with one another important things that I want you to remember in order to use these structures or these 10 correctly according to or based on the situations. Right, these are about the use. Use are very important when you are learning a 10. Use can help you to use these 10 or structures well based on the situation. For example, the use number 1, we use present perfect to talk about experience. So when you have experience of doing something or experience of playing some things, you have to use present perfect. Let's have a look with the example here. The same example. Felicity's Mark has done sponsor work. So it means you want to mention that in the past, in order to raise money, she has done a sponsor work. This is the experience of raising money or collecting money for charities. Right? And then look at the example number 2. They had to organize a quiz night to raise money for charity. So this is also experience because they just mentioned what activity she has done in order to raise money. So according to her experience, she has organized a quiz night, or she has done a sponsor works. So for another example of experience things is that, for example, like I have been to America. So you see, this is talking about the experience of being in America. Another example, I have traveled around the world. So this is the experience of traveling around the world. So that's it for experiencing some things. And then the other use I want you to remember as well is to talk about action in the past without specific times. To make sure that you remember and you understand this tense, let's have a look with exercise number 1 with me. And if you can do the exercise number 1, it means you are almost understand and remember the form and uses of this tense well. Right. And let's have a look. Exercise number 1. Complete the sentences with the present perfect with the verbs in brackets. And then you see there are 5 sentences here. And then have a look. Number 1 with me. My dad blah 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 built a swimming pool in our garden. So you see the verbs in the bracket is build and it's verb 1. And when you want to use present perfect, you have to add have or has. And with the build verb 3's. Then my dad has or have. That is one subject. So you have to use my dad has built. So built finished by T. So it means it verb 3. So my dad has built a swimming pool in our gardens. Right. And then look at exercise number 2. We blah 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 not seen a lot of film in English. You see, not seen, it is a negative. So you have to use it like we have or we has. The correct answer is we have not seen. So because of seen is a verb 3 of see. Seen a lot of films in English. And then number 3. She blah blah organized a car boot sales. Do you see again? Organize is a verb 1 and she is a subject. So when you want to use she, you have to use has. She has organized, you have to add ed. Organized a car boot sales. And then number 4. He blah 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 writes a lot of email asking for helps. So in here you have to use with he has written, because written is the verb 3 of write. And then the last exercise, I blah 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 not sell cake for the charity. And then here it is a negative sentence. You have to use with I have or I has. The correct answer is I have not sold, because sold is the verb 3 of sells. I have not sold cake for the charities. Alright, that's it for our exercise number 1. I hope you get so far and you get what I'm talking about. And then next, I want you to look at exercise number 2. Exercise number 2 just want you to correct the mistake. So each sentence have an error and you have to change and you have to correct it in the right ways. Alright, so look at number 1 here. We has done a lot of different things to raise money. So we has, is it okay we has? No, I don't think so we has, because we use with have. We have done, right? So the error is has, right? So you have to drop has to and add have, right? And then number 2, he has been not to Ghana many times. So you see, has been not. No, there is no rule about present perfect. The correct rule is she has not been. So you have to put not between has and been. And then number 3, they have. So it means it is short contraction. So they've selling cakes. So the error is selling. Present perfect, we don't use with verb ing, we use with verb 3. Verb participle, right? So it's become they've sold cakes and sandwich to people, right? And then number 4, I not have read any books in English. So is it okay you put not between the subject and have? No, I don't think. The correct answer is I have not. So you have to place not between have and main verbs. Main verbs, it means read, right? I have not read book. And then number 5 here, you've given, and then you use contraction as, right? So it means it is from has. So when you use the subject you don't use with has. So you use with have, right? You have given a lot of money to charities, right? The error is has, and then you have to change it to have. And then number 6, he has visited Africa 3 or 4 times. So you see, visit is a verb 1, and when you want to use present perfect, you have to use verb 3. So visit become visited, right? So he has visited Africa 3 or 4 times. And then the last exercise, number 7. She's not have a birthday party this year. So is it correct? Have you add ed? No. So the verb 3 of have is had. So it is she has not had a birthday party this year. Right. These are an errors when you are doing exercise. If you do not remember the form, it is hard for you to find the error or the mistakes in this sentences. Let's move on to the last exercise with me. Number 3, read the text and complete the space with the present perfect form. And you have to use the word in the bracket to complete the space provided. Alright, so let's go with me slowly one by one. Hi Barbara, have you ever raised money for charities? I blah 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 not do anything before. You see, in the bracket there are 2 words, not and do. So when you want to use present perfect form, you have to use with I have not done, right? So I have not done is the correct answer to the space. But I really want to be a volunteer. My brother blah 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 organize a raffle to raise money for cancer research. You see, my brother only one person, and organize is a verb in bracket. You have to change it into verb 3. So as you remember, when you want to use one subject in the present perfect, you have to use has. My brother has organized. Organize, you have to add ed because it is verb 3, right? Number 3, and he blah 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 buys a lot of charity badges. Number 3, you see the verb buy, and he. Also, when you want to use he, you have to use with has. He has buy to bought, because bought is a verb 3 of buy. So he has bought a lot of charity badges. Number 4, my sister blah 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 made cake and blah 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 sell them outside school to raise money for the Red Cross. And let's have a look with my sister. That is one sister, right? And then make is verb 1. So the correct answer you have to use present perfect form is my sister has made become made. My sister has made cake, and because it is a corollary, a parallel, you have only change the verb into verb 3 or past participle only. You don't need to use have has again. And sold them outside the school to raise money for the Red Cross. Next, I want to do a sponsor swim because I think it is a good way to raise money. My brother and sisters. So there are more subjects. You see, do you see sister have eyes? And then do you see brother? So the combinations of the subjects more than 2, right? So here you have to use have. My brother and sister have not, you see, collect, so you have to add ed, have not collected any money for the animal charities, and blah blah blah. So this is the way that we are doing the exercise without considering so long time, because you remember the forms and especially the use of this tense. Just keep in mind, learning tense is to understand the usage of its tense and especially the forms. Alright, last exercise and last for this video is homework. This homework just requires you to use the verbs in the box and then change it into verb 3 or past participle, and then use the form of present perfect to complete the 6 sentences. And then that's all for this video, and thank you for everyone. Thank you for your participating and watching this video, and thank you and goodbye, good luck.